even Trump is really angry with the UN and at the same time the ICC.
No, the United Nations, you see, I always call them Lookman. In my previous interviews with Philip TV and other social media platforms, I always accuse United Nations of Lookman. What they are doing. So United Nations has come with a serious warning, and I'm telling you that Justice J.Omotosho must actually act otherwise. I don't know what to understand. Failure to do so, Omotosho himself, he will lose his legal legacy. His legal credentials will be what? Dragged on the potopoto. Because it is getting out of hand. Someone that has won, defeated Nigeria in court severally, you still call him terrorist. That's the final, straw that breaks the camel's back. We don't need starting a case afresh. Starting a case again, a case that has actually been at least ruled in favor of the accused. That's Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, he has been deproscribed. So, which treasonable felony again? So, what happened now is Omotosho should focus on climaxing the case, bringing it to climax. That is sealing it off. And everybody should go their ways. Nnamdi Kanu must walk out of DSS prison. Comes April and May, respectively. What am I trying to say? He was vindicated, I think, in 2022. That was during Buhari administration. And everybody was like, why not allowing him to go again? Amechi Bazilike, the Ohaneze, elderly man, until death, he worked hard, said he wanted to see this man come out before he dies. The man was sick then. And they were besieging the office of the then Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, to make sure that Nnamdi Kanu walked out of DSS facilities. But all efforts, was just dashed until, before you know it, Mbazulike died. Then again, Okwazulike, the former Anambra State governor, he worked hard with the rest of the Ohanezes to make sure that this guy walked out. Even there are many hearing in the court. The former Anambra State governor actually, braced the court. He was there with other great Igbo men to make sure that he solicited his own solidarity, that kind of support for Nnamdi Kanu. Still, they refuse him. I don't know what they wanted again. Until this current administration, when it was, at its peak, the beginning of this current administration, Nnamdi Kanu went to court again and won. The court ruled in his favor. Discharged and acquitted second time. They are still holding him. So the directive from the United Nations organization actually indicates that the member nation of UNO, the countries of the world, in their hundreds, are in support of Kanu's freedom. And do you know what it spells for Nigeria? If they venture rule unjustly, I think Nigeria is going in for stringent embargo, economic embargo on Nigeria. United Nations is going to sanction Nigeria, meaning that many countries will stop at least trade pacts, trading, diplomatic, whatever relationship with Nigeria. They will cut it off. And Nigeria will be estranged. Estranged. That is when they will feel hunger. Because the politicians in Nigeria, they pluck money from trees, NNPC trees, they pluck money from NNPC trees and other, foreign oil agencies. That's where their money is coming from. And look at the diaspora remittance now. USAID has stopped. And that is good thing. It's a good way to fight voracious politicians like Nigerian political juggernauts. Because they believe that plucking money from diaspora, plucking money locally, plucking money from NNPC, plucking money from NEPA and other public, institution that generates money is a way of life. That's why they don't want to apply Nigerian constitution in all their doings. So, United Nations has come with a serious warning, and I'm telling you that Justice J.Omotosho must actually act otherwise. I don't know what to understand. Failure to do so, J.Omotosho himself, he will lose his legal legacy. His legal credentials will be what? Dragged on the potopoto. Because it is getting out of hand. Someone that has won, defeated Nigeria in court severally, you still call him terrorist. While the headers that are encroaching all over Nigerian farmland, disaliving farmers in Yoruba land, disaliving farmers in Benue land, disaliving farmers in the Mid-Belt, everywhere in Igbo land. The Fulani incursions are on alarming rates, disaliving farmers. Nobody has tagged them terrorists and nobody has taken them to court. An innocent Igbo man since 2021 was keeping incommunicado, stagnated at DSS facilities for good 50-something months now. It is getting out of hand. Yes, it is getting out of hand. So, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu should walk out free. Nothing like starting afresh. Starting that case afresh is another Tinubu uru. When it is happening to the young dog, nobody will feel the pain. Because dog, they believe, is an animal. But when it happens to humans, that is when man actually knows what the young puppies are passing through. Now, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been overdue. He has overstayed. Stagnated in one place. It is not good to his health. Kanu has come of age. Kanu is 50-something. So it is the right time, this is the high time Nigeria should at least brace up that if anything happens to that young man, I don't think Igbos will take it easy with them. Especially now that it is Yoruba turn. Yoruba man has turned his back on Igbo man with their normal, to south, the whole southern Nigeria, with their normal and instability. I don't know what to understand. He should release Nnamdi Kanu. He release Igbo, his brother. That is an eyesore. So if you ask me, without Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the lawmakers are not supposed to be holding sessions. Because someone is, wrongly arraigned, wrongly held down in one place. Now, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is a hostage because they actually extraordinary rendition him from Nairobi, Kenya into Nigeria, which is against international law. They don't have such pact or agreement with Kenya to render their citizens from Kenya into Nigeria. And Kenya doesn't have such treaty or pact with Nigeria either to render Kenyan nationals into Kenya without appropriate documents and the process. So what I'm trying to say is I like that development. Antonio Guterres, I believe that his permanent secretary, which is Aicha Mohammed Efulani, I think she has either resigned or been assigned to another designation. That's why Antonio Guterres is doing something. If you go to Antonio Guterres, if you go to Ban Ki-moon, the time when Kofi Annan was United Nations Secretary General, the time when Boutros Ghali was United States Secretary General, you will see petitions from southeastern Nigeria against Obasanjo, against Jonathan, against Obi, against all these wicked leaders that killed Biafra agitators during their administration. But none has been attended to. It's because of that woman, Aicha Mohammed. Each and every time we come up with our own petitions against, hostilities of these countries, against these Nigerian people, against Biafran people, that woman will dump the paper. She refused to tender it to the Secretary General of UNO. That's why our problem, lingers over the years. So what I'm saying is that all hands should be on table right now to make sure that J.Omotosho is not going to start this matter afresh. Because afresh to delay someone that has been Nnamdi Kanu will react. If Kanu fails to react, I think there will be problem for Nigeria. It means that Tinubu is asking for. See, let me tell you.
Yesterday we saw protests on the court day. We saw
everywhere
people,
in Abuja now.
People coming out, even Yorubas even coming out to
protest.
Protest for him.
To leave him. The guy is getting too much and out of hand. Let you leave him. If Nigeria want to break, Nigeria should have broken by now. Nigeria should have disintegrated by now because we are not receiving dividend democracy. Dividend of democracy. We are seeing another thing. What we have here is an autocracy. We don't have a democratic government in place. So that's why you see the Yoruba, the Hausas, everybody has joined forces with Igbos to protest Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's unnecessary incarceration. So that direction, the case is going now. I believe that J.Omotosho will be the person that will bring it to a climax.
But we know that the UN several times over the years have called for the. Is it that they know that the Nigerian government can't do anything even though they don't adhere to their own directive? Do you not think that's one of the reasons why even Trump is really angry with the UN and at the same time the ICC.
No, the United Nations, you see, I always call them Lukman. In my previous interviews with Philip TV and other social media platforms, I always accuse United Nations of Lukman. African countries, there are problems. We have administrative problem all over Africa, which is why our economies all over the countries of Africa are in shambles. We have dilapidated economy in Cameroon, in Kenya, in Zimbabwe, in Niger, in Burkina Faso, in Mali, everywhere, because United Nations is a Lukman platform. Lukman is when somebody is characterized by looking inactive. When a man is deactivated or inactive, if you complain to him, he will be looking at you. That was where Islam came out to Lukman, because every Lukman keeps on looking and looking like Mugu. So that's why I always give a United Nations, United Nations organization known as Lukman, Luku, UNO. They have been looking and looking. That's why Trump is annoyed with how Luku, United Nations was, able to be looking at Israel. Hamas were killing Israeli. Lukman, United Nations was a Lukman looking at Israel, looking like Mugu. Until they want to buy the whole Israel. And now Israel reacted. United Nations started accusing Netanyahu that they should take him to International Criminal Court. So Trump actually know that United Nations organization is a group of countries that are timorous and over-intimidated, and it is highly infuriating. That's why Trump is coming with his own dynamism to make sure that he effects the Nnamdi Kanu's release and actually annihilate the hideouts, annihilate the insurgents in their various hideouts in the north. He's preparing such military operation, and there's nothing Nigeria could do about it. Because the insurgents in Nigeria, federal government of Nigeria, turned their back on the victims. The victimized are the Christians on daily basis. And the Muslims, you know them. If you buy any Muslim now, they will all come out. But they are busy buying Christians, buying every Christians. In Adamawa, in Kaduna, in Kano, Christians were being pied. And if you kill one Muslim now, fire will catch the whole north. So what are we saying? That's why America has the impetus to act, because they are the watchdog or world police. They are the police of the world. And they must actually come and conduct such military bliss, especially at Sambisa Forest. They needed it. Sambisa Forest, Southern Kaduna, is penciled down or blacklisted by Trump's administration. They must actually come and make sure that they reduce in their great number the numbers of insurgents encroaching in the northeast, northwest, mid-belt, Zamfara, and what do you call the other state? Katsina. All the bandits, they are terrorists. Only that Nigerian government only just baptized them bandits. Herdsmen. What is the meaning of herdsmen? Herdsmen that all over United States, Holland, and Argentina. Are they buying people? Have they been unaliving people? They operate on their own. They graze their routes where the government has actually mapped out for them to graze. And some of them in Holland, Argentina, Brazil are having enclosure, various enclosures where they rear their animals. But Nigeria, they don't have enclosure because they want to graze everywhere, buy farmers, snatch people's land. You don't encroach on people's land claiming that you are Fulani my foot. So what I'm trying to say actually is that Trump is actually annoyed with that platform that is holding the whole nations of the world. That is the United Nations organization, because they have been at least not going the right way. The objectivities before, they are not actually doing it the right way. The objectives now, they have actually derailed from follow up, because that was not the reason why it was initiated in 1945. It was to take care of the world, to bring peace everywhere. And if there's any trouble spot in the world, United Nations will go with their military forces and make sure that peace is restored in such place. But today, we see Bowman dying for nothing. See Benue in their large numbers. Look at Christians all over Nigeria. They are dying in their large numbers, facing various persecution and execution even on a on internet, on social media. United States of America, United Nations, everybody, they are watching. It's on call for. And Nigeria now, you don't tell me that this is not scaring investors from coming. Because everywhere in the southeast, Fulanis are in the forest. Everywhere in the southwest, they are in the forest. They've actually invaded the whole Enugu forest. They are there. Yesterday, they shot somebody from my village. Shot him on the leg. Abducted the other one. Showing it on social media. The guy was crying. It is unfair. And the government of the day is not doing anything. The governors of the southeastern Nigeria, they turn their back on the people there. The Fulanis are having their free will to kill and maim, which is unfair. So United Nations, I think, if aligned with Donald Trump, they could go a long way to get, victory over insurgency in the north and Nigeria's, let me say, unjustified, continuation of incarcerating Nnamdi Kanu. I think they could go a long way, as Trump has actually indicated his interest.
Coming up on Biafra Truth Network News, the acting head of state of the United States of Biafra, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, delivers the State of the Nation address, reaffirming Biafra's independence. Also calls growth for international recognition as more nations express support. And new developments in the restrictions placed on Prime Minister Simon Ekpa by Finnish authorities. Stay with us for the full details. We begin tonight with the State of the Nation address by the acting head of state of the United States of Biafra, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. In a strongly worded speech, she reaffirmed the nation's sovereignty following its redeclaration of independence on November 29, 2024. Speaking from Biafra Tower in the Confederation Capital Territory of Ebube, Dr. Orabueze called on all Biafrans to unite in building a strong and prosperous nation.
To Biafrans about our accounts. So now we have 3 accounts where we donate our money, the mandate, and the 2 accounts in Homeland, the TAJ and the FCMB. These 3 accounts are fully secured. Fully, when I mean fully secured, because the accounts are secured with banks that met international standard. And as a nation, we have a right to do what we do. Those people that are spreading those narratives to you that when you donate money, somebody, Tinubu will come after you. Because people are Christopher Musa, they are hiding. The world is looking for them to account for the evils that they are committing in the Nigerian territory. The only fear we have is ourselves, the ones that we develop by ourselves. And the people that are carrying these rumors, trying to create these fears among us, is some fellow Biafrans that are engineered by the Nigerian state to stop the full push to secure the United States of Biafra. They are the ones telling you, oh, if you put your money here, they'll do this. If you do. The whole world knows that President Tinubu reintegrates non-terrorists and opens bank accounts for them inside Nigeria. So how can he and Christopher Musa, it's a policy for them. And I tell any world leader or world press listening to me, it is a standing policy for the Nigerian state to reintegrate non-terrorists such as Boko Haram into the Nigerian state. These individuals, they open bank accounts for them. And these terrorists, they never repent. They call them repenters. They never repent. They are the ones that hijack the indigenous military equipment that Nigeria have and use that to chase away indigenous Nigerians from their homes and occupy their homes. The facts are there. If you need more information, the clear facts, you can text me 770-329-7339 and I'll send you all the documents, the facts of the case. The Nigerian government reintegrates non-terrorists, Boko Haram, ISWAP, ISIS, all of them. Allow them to open bank accounts in the Nigerian state using what he called the NIN number. Every Nigerian issues them what is called NIN number. Without this NIN number, they cannot open bank account. These terrorists kidnap people, ask for ransom. And when they ask for ransom, they use that NIN number, which they allow them to use to have their phones. So the telephone they use to call for ransom, Christopher Musa knows the number. They know the NIN number issued to these individuals. They know the NIN number they use to open bank accounts. Do they go after them? No. They are in Biafra land with their armored tanks, chasing for innocent Biafrans that do not want to live with these terrorists that they reintegrate. Our accounts are secure, and I'm not let Biafrans know in the next couple of months, our bank will be operational. The United States State of Biafra online banking will soon be operational for everyone. You have the right to go to that bank, put in your money, send money to your loved ones, and operate it just like you operate a regular national bank like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and all that. So we're in the final stage to bring the Biafra Bank of Biafra to Biafrans. Until then, these bank accounts are secure. We will continue to use that to put our money. And more bank accounts coming. That is what we will continue to do. I want to let the world know Biafrans are not terrorists. Nigerian government, with the Nigerian politicians and the Nigerian state, with the defense chief Christopher Musa, they are the real terrorists. But they confuse you. They confuse people to the point that we Biafrans, we are terrorists. They are the terrorists. They finance the terrorists. They allow Nigerian banks to open bank accounts for these terrorists that they reintegrate into the Nigerian system. When these terrorists are asking for ransom, the money goes through the same bank account. Because when they ask for ransom for $10,000 or $100,000, the money goes out from a Nigerian account. The money goes out from an individual account whose brother or son or children the terrorists are holding ransom. Christopher Musa does not track that. He does not track the money coming out. He does not tell the bankers to report when 100,000 leaves account. No, he don't do that. Because those 100,000 goes to the terrorist act. These are the facts of the case. So I'll encourage Biafran to continue to donate your money. Nothing is up. The individuals that Tinubu mentioned their name, these are innocent Biafrans. They are not terrorist financiers. But that is what they have to say, because they have to say something. Because they know that Biafra is already here. Continue to donate your money. We need this money. Our leader Nnamdi Kanu is languishing in DSS dungeon. What was his crime? What did he do? Because Nigeria is a failed state. And they want to drag everybody down. They want to drag everybody down. Thank God for the declaration of the United States of Biafra, November 29th, 2024. Thank you so much, Biafrans that travel from all over the world to be in Finland to declare the sovereignty of the United States of Biafra. We will continue to raise funds. We will continue to raise funds for humanitarian purposes, for all our innocent women, innocent men, innocent children that have been rendered as orphans by the Nigerian state, by our young men and women whose businesses have been burnt down by the Nigerian state just because they believe in the cause for Biafra. These are unarmed, innocent Biafrans that are being killed. Their brothers and sisters are being killed. They are locked up in different cells across Nigeria. Their businesses have been burnt down. Their homes have been destroyed by the Nigerian state just because they want to be Biafrans, just because they believe in Biafrans, just because they do not want to live in a country where you have two laws, Sharia laws in the north and secular law in the south. Where you, if you are born a Christian in the northern part of Nigeria, Nigerian state forces you story of Deborah, an innocent Christian that was living in the northern part of Nigeria, in the Sharia state, and she was burnt to death. She was stoned to death in front of the Nigerian leaders. President Tinubu never made a statement about that. Atiku, who is now coming out to run for Nigerian presidency, these are people that you call your so-called leaders, but they continue to kill innocent indigenous Nigerians and indigenous Biafrans. Countless cases in Ehamufu, in Aba, in Headbridge, Onisha, where innocent Biafrans were murdered on the orders of Nigerian state, Christopher Musa, just because they are marching on them.